Hey everybody, Trisha Turpinoff here with Leslie Cole. Today we're talking about lighting yourself in your video. And as you can see, Miss Leslie Cole is not lit and she has a window behind her. So look at what she looks like. So Leslie, you're like my Vanna. Will you run around and turn on your lights?
Yes.
It's almost like her turning numbers and letters for us.
Right. One moment.
Thank you. So yeah, really this example is to show you how lighting can really help you in your videos. And she's got this right now. What's funny is she's not in the picture, so it doesn't look like the background is really bright, but when she gets in the photo, it makes a big difference. And so now look how awesome Leslie looks. She looks beautiful and even, and she's got great skin tone. Woo! So I have a couple questions for you today, Miss Leslie. So Leslie is from Majestic Feminine, which is all about being feminine and showing off your soft power so that you can get more out of your business.
That's right.
Tell us more, Leslie.
That's right. Well, what I talk about, Trish, as a former corporate executive for over 25 years in financial services, right now, I have morphed my business into talking to women about the business of being feminine and using your soft power, which is your authentic power. And so for that reason, you get more success, more prosperity, and your life is a lot more easier and fun.
Ooh, I like that. And soft power, that's not something I mean, obviously that's a Leslieism, isn't it?
It is. I just thought of soft power because as women, and it's something that I did in my long-term career working in a very male-dominated industry, is I tried to suit up and replicate men and to somewhat mimic them in the way that I worked. So I went through some transformative steps in my career and pulled out my more feminine traits and my softer power and found that I had much more success and I was so much happier and fulfilled. So that's why I'm taking it to others through one-on-one coaching.
That's really cool. And so soft power is staying in your femininity, but keeping, I don't want to say keeping your power. How would you expand on that?
The way to think about it, because a lot of women get confused about femininity, or there's a definite reaction when you start talking to people about femininity. So to make it more clear, using the feminine energy that comes naturally and innately to us. In other words, really not muting ourselves and our feminine traits of intuition, communication, empathy. And if you think about the time period that we're in right now, those are skills that are really needed in the workplace.
Wow, so true.
They're also needed because most organizations, as we can see right now from being on Zoom, are already very heavily teched up.
Right.
They have all the technology they need. But what they really need are soft skills to have better client relationships, better employee retention, better ease of connection with all of their employees at their work.
Right.
So the soft feminine skills are what's going to really be ascendant and valuable, but we have to be able to access them as women after years of working with the big dogs and the men.
Right. Wow, that makes a ton of sense because those, you know, when you talk about intuition, it is such a soft skill, but it's a very powerful skill when you utilize your intuition to help guide people through something that could be murky or mucky. And if you're paying attention to their body language and being able, and then using other soft skills as women have to again help guide them out of whatever they've gotten into, that really makes a ton of sense. I really like that.
Thank you. It's like, I like to think about intuition as an example, because if we're not listening to our intuition, we begin to doubt our own internal voices.
Right.
And we have trouble trusting ourselves. So we're sitting there in those meetings going, I don't know if I should say anything. I don't know. And my voice doesn't feel powerful and strong. Whereas if we listen to an intuitive hit, it could very often lead to a business idea, a creative connection. That's how big things happen, is through intuition. And that's a gift that comes to us naturally, but we have to be able to tap into it.
Right. And so that's how it's the soft power, is that a lot of times we let that, because we feel like we need to be more masculine in our work to get things done, we're not paying attention to some of those softer skills that are included in that soft power that you're talking about.
Yeah, we kind of don't realize we're tamping them down because we've been encouraged not to show a lot of our softer power, like our emotions or our, all those things. Don't cry at work, and don't be emotional, or don't be, and that, I'm still not saying people should sit there and cry at work or have big drama festivals, but to be able to, it's not really our fault. Totally. We've been schooled and we heard the message.
Right.
I came up in the 80s when it was dress for success and wear bow tie blouses and all that stuff. And so, we've been very careful to shelve that part of ourselves. Some of us have, not everyone.
Right.
But a lot of us have. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and in this crazy time of quarantine, what are the extra steps that you're taking to keep your business moving forward and move that needle?
Well, thank you for that question. The great thing about my business is that because I do work with executive women, business owners, corporate executives, people who are in that realm, they're working from home now. And they're not getting on planes, and they're not jetting to meetings, and they're not sitting in conferences. So they're finding more time on their calendars to look at some things that they can enhance for themselves during this quarantine, during this time.
Right.
Because we can work from home. I worked from home for like 25 years as a salesperson in financial services.
Wow.
And you can regulate your own schedule. And so I know there's little pockets of time on their calendars.
Especially now.
Yeah, that they didn't have before. Because maybe if, for instance, for when I was in that situation, I was always hopping on a plane or hopping off a plane, or that takes time. So that's now time they have back in their schedules where they can work with me. So I'm doing live streams most every day. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm reaching out to people that I know have told me before, oh no, I'd love to do that, but I'm just too busy. So this is a great opportunity.
Oh yeah. And where can they find you, Leslie?
Well, my website is majesticfeminine.com.
Awesome.
I also have a link in my Facebook posts as well as my LinkedIn posts about how they can actually apply for their complimentary Premier Power Up conversation.
Awesome.
That's 30 minutes with me to find out where they're at, where they want to go, and what's in their way. To get really crystal clear on what their desires are and what is going to feed them, invigorate them.
That's exciting. Oh, that's cool. Well, I'll make sure that link is in this this post.
Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you. Actually working on getting it up to speed. I think it'll be ready today. So awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Thanks, Leslie. It was such a pleasure having you on. And thank you you were basically kind of my video virgin to get your lighting on there.
Do you have any interest in seeing how the lights are set up so that?
Yeah. Let's show everybody what the lights look like.
Okay. Now, I think you'll help me with the technology, but I'm just going to turn this around so people can see. And please just disregard my weird house with no furniture. Can you see?
Yeah, just tip up a little bit more. So what we've got, Leslie's got a umbrella on the left and an umbrella on the right, and she has her ring light on above her about I'd say 18 inches higher than your head. Is that about right, Leslie?
Yeah, I think that's about right. Maybe a little more.
Yeah, and that's because of Leslie's glasses. We wanted to make sure she had some extra light on her face, but we didn't want it to get into her glasses. And so that worked out perfect. Yay. Thank you, Vanna Cole.
Yeah, so these are from, I don't know if you want to share with them, like if they're sitting there thinking, I don't want to go to all that expense, all that trouble. These are cheapies from Amazon.
And they work great.
Yeah, it's not, but I didn't know how to use them. So thank you for your expertise.
Absolutely. I'm glad we could get them set up. They do really look awesome on you. And so, yeah, I'll post this. And if anybody has any questions, I can send them a link on Amazon. I actually own a similar set. So yay.
Yay. You could be a professional at home by yourself. Thank you, Trish. This is such a great service you're doing.
Yeah. Thank you, Leslie.
For those of you that don't know, a lot of my marketing images were taken by Trish. And I get a ton of hits on those. I get a lot of engagement.
That's awesome.
I see a picture that you've taken.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Well, for your audience that's watching, that's book with Trish right now.
Woo! Yeah, as soon as we're out of quarantine, I get back to California. Oh,
get on her calendar because it's a moneymaker.
It is. I'm telling you what, that's what's exciting, is that you put great images of yourself out there and people see who you are and your engagement raises, and then people start calling you. It takes a little while for it to roll, but once the engagement continues to go higher and higher, I notice that that's what my clients say. They always say, then the phone starts to ring. And so,
Yeah, yeah, you have to train them. But can I give you an example?
yes.
Okay, so I, as I mentioned, used to be a high-level executive in financial services. Last night, after posting your image, and I did some
Love
graphics
that
on it
image.
about soft power, an image that you had taken, I had a text from a former sales manager that I'd reported to, who's now in charge of all sales at Pacific Life,
Wow.
and he said, it's so and so. I just want to let you know that I've been reading your LinkedIn. Your image is incredibly powerful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And yeah, that image you use, it's one of my favorites. And it does, you look soft, but you look powerful. And you just had nailed your brand. And that's where it starts, nailing your brand, nailing your message, and then your photos matching those two things. And so great job, Leslie.
Well, you've been a huge part of that. So I wanted to point that out so that
Thank
people know.
you.
There's a lot of photographers out there. There's a lot.
There are.
You have a
There
lot
are.
of different skills and things to offer.
Thank you. I really
Yeah,
appreciate that.
plus
That's
you're fun.
awesome. Well, this has been super fun. Oh my gosh. And you just look so good with your lights. Oh my gosh, I can't get over it.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I can't get over it either. I'm so excited.
I
Yes.
know this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see your next live or your next video.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. And I can also move these around the house because I do
Oh
like to
yeah,
film locations. So now that I know
absolutely.
how to use them, and now that others will know how to use resources like this, it's really helpful. Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. And if any of you guys need help, you just hit me up. I'm happy to help you because we all need to look pretty on video. It's
Yeah.
important now that we're on video so much.
Just because we're working at home doesn't mean that we want to slump it in, when you talk about
Exactly.
the neck, about the tip about the neck, to me, this is like huge.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And you
Totally.
tell them how to place your device so that you're the most.
Yes. So mine's not as high as Leslie's. As you can see, Leslie's is higher, but I always think that's really important because I'll show you guys. See, now it's like, now it's lower and you're kind of staring right here and you're looking up at me. And I know I used a Kleenex box today. I usually have a stand, but I clean my office. I'm like, where's my stand? So anyway, but yeah, stool, something higher, something that's like 8 to 12 inches, that definitely, that height is such a good height because it makes everything look smaller as it comes downward. So,
Right.
oh, I see. So anyway, Leslie and I are going to sign off from our recording. We thank you guys for listening in and
Yeah.
we'll talk soon.
Okay.